Okay guys, in this section of the workshop I'm going to give you some new toys for your practice, and that is some new layouts. We've been focusing a lot on the 4-card spread, but there may be times when you want to mix it up a bit. And the Lost Man spread is the first spread I'm going to show you, and all these spreads can be found in the chapter Alternate Spreads and Loose Ends, starting page 171 in the Playing Card Oracles. So in the Lost Man spread, I'm going to begin by choosing one card to represent my question, right? I might want to just fan through my deck and see which card represents what I'd like to ask a question about. Maybe I have a creative endeavor, something very innovative I'm involved in, and I have a question about it. Or I have a friend, somebody that I'm concerned about. Court cards are very natural, of course, to represent people that we have questions or concerns about. Maybe I have a situation that's just breaking my back, something that's at the breaking point, and I might choose this card to represent that situation. But whatever it is, I just fix it in my mind. I don't even have to go look at the card, as long as I have a little picture of it in my own mind. And also in the Playing Card Oracles, in that chapter, Alternate Spreads and Loose Ends, I review my method for assigning people to court cards based on astrology. But any little association that you can come up with that ties your subject to a particular card will work. It doesn't have to be the astrology sign. A person's job can put them within a particular suit, right? A writer would be in the club suit, a designer maybe in the heart suit or the diamond suit, and then you can choose an age-appropriate card, a lady or a queen, a jack or a king. But for this example, let's use the 9 of spades. Some kind of situation my client has that is just intolerable. She doesn't know how to get out from under it, and it's just draining her of all her energy. So I'm going to assign it to the 9 of spades. I'm going to formulate my question, right? We're not skipping steps with this. We're using all the steps that we've already learned, the instructions we've already gone over for shuffling, etc. And then when I'm done shuffling, I'm going to go find that card that I singled out in my mind. And I'm just going to carefully fan through the deck, being mindful not to rearrange my cards in any way. I want to see exactly where that quote-unquote lost man landed when I stopped shuffling. I check here, going through, and there it is. Okay. And then once I see the card, I just carefully fan the cards out around it. Just kind of expose it there. Now, what I'm going to probably open my reading with are the cards closest to my signature card, because those cards are having the greatest influence on my situation, okay? And I start with something that grabs my attention, as usual. And there's a lot going on here. I'm seeing a suit combination with spades and diamonds, you know. That's grabbing my eye. Here's another spade card. So everything I already know about that suit combination, you know, is very willful. It's very businesslike. It can be very blind to other people's feelings, right? Lacking sensitivity, extremely goal-oriented. So I'm already picking up that vibe about the situation, since all of my core cards fall within that suit combination. And I'm seeing a very significant female here, right? This could be my client. And in the presence of an actual client, I would probably just trust my instinct on that. I don't have the benefit of a client here while I'm making the video, but I would just use my hunch there. Or I could keep it general. I could say, you know, I see a very stern, business-oriented female here. You know, this woman is, she's hard to break in a way. She's like that little branch from the tree that you spank the kids with. She's that way. And she's very creative, right? She's got this next to her too. She's got good ideas. And she's central to this heavy situation. I've also got this card right here. Very important card to this situation. This is, I'm thinking, some help coming in. So even though the situation is dire, I see that there is assistance. You know, it may not be enough to, you know, make this situation work, to save this intense situation or turn it around. And yet there is help there. And then there's another character over here. There's a lot of court cards here, a lot of people involved in this situation. This male quite possibly is someone that, you know, this queen has feeling or affection for. But she's very independent. It's the hearts are outside of what's between these two cards, right? If this heart card, for example, had been inside here, one of these cards, right? I would say she might be expressing some affection toward that king there. But as it is, he's just sort of surrounded by this little sweet aura of softness, which is nice for this king. Even though he's tough, he's got a softness about him, a sweetness. So again, all of these kind of statements could spark you know, questions in my client, or would relate to something that she already knows about the situation. But you know, that's the Lost Man spread. Should we do another one? I think it's helpful to see all these interpretation techniques on the table. And let's choose another card. Let's choose a person this time. Let's choose this card. Let's say it's a young man. Let's say it's my client's son. And she hasn't seen him for a long time. He's not talking to her for some reason. He says he's busy, but she's worried about him. And so we're going to make him the Lost Man. And how did we choose him as the club card, the club suit? Because she says he's a writer, so that's enough. And because he's her son, I'm going to make him a jack. And it doesn't really matter how old he is, right? It's enough to proceed with the reading. And I formulate my question, usually something along the lines of, please show us what my client needs to know about her son. Something open-ended like that. Breathing. Then I go find my card. Again, being mindful not to rearrange the deck in any way. I just fan them out around the card. Like so. And I like how they're kind of messy this time. That might play into how I interpret the cards. You never know. There's a card hiding under this card. Isn't that interesting? I use all of this stuff. Well, maybe this is something the son is sort of shielding from the mother's view, right? So, or something he hides from others as well. Something in his past that he's trying to keep to himself there. I pay attention to all these things because cards talk in many different ways. Okay, so we have our Jack of Clubs, and first of all, we see something unexpected taking place. That's standing out right away. And although I like how it's in compatible suit combination with the Jack, remember clubs and diamonds have a way of working together very nicely. So this is a situation that came unexpectedly, but the son is able to manage it. Maybe it just adds a little bit of energy and excitement to what he's doing. Doesn't knock him off his feet. And I like how there's another club card on the other side of this diamond card, even more emphasizing the harmonious relationship that all these cards have together. And this card I really see as the one thing that is like sticking out here, right? Because even this card is in the club suit. So I've got all these sort of easygoing suits together, right? And I would suspect that this son puts on sort of a really easygoing kind of exterior. And, things come and go pretty easy for him. Very cerebral with all these club cards, not just the signature card. But then this card, which is really a challenging suit combination for clubs and spades. Suddenly this Jack is not in his element. He's got a puzzle that is going to cause him to have to come down to earth a little bit, right? There's all this floaty air energy here, and this is like serious for him, and he doesn't like other people to know about it. Now I'm using a little bit of a takeoff of the layouts as pictures technique, because I'm always just watching what cards do and the messages that come through in ways that are very, organic, I guess is the word. So yeah, I would say there's some very pronounced thing in this son's life that he really needs to address. Something that's in ruin, right? This is the ruin. And that he really doesn't know how. He's not really well suited to tackle this question. And really what this ruin card could use is a heart card, right? Hearts are the suit that are compatible with spades, that heal and, work in harmony with spade cards. And then this one heart card over here is the 9, which is maybe just too much, too much, too much. Maybe this spade cards opens up all kinds of feelings for this son. You know, there's no heart cards in here. Maybe he's uncomfortable with letting his feelings out, likes to keep things kind of happy-go-lucky. So that would be my reading, and once again, the client, I would hope that this discussion would spark some things in her, and that she would come forward with more questions that then could be addressed specifically in the layout. So that's the Lost Man spread. I just continue to use the techniques I've already been working on.